shepherd warned us they were coming. But we didn't listen. Now the fate of our world, of every world, rests in his hands.
Jason, Nick, and Kevin, I think this is the hardest review I've had to do so far for this.
You can't start a Mass Effect review with a big sigh in the beginning? What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I mean, woo! Mass Effect!
Fucking Mass Effect!
Yeah! Lasers and space bitches, what? How about, is that better?
That's better. That's better.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
he's probably sighing because it's the end of an era, you know, of like the perfect sci-fi RPGs. Like it's the best sci-fi game ever so far. So he's probably sighing because like it's over. It's all over.
I don't know if I go that far. Best sci-fi game ever. Come on.
Yeah, it is. Name me one that's better than Mass Effect.
Fallout.
Ooh, that's rough.
No, Fallout could suck on Mass Effect's balls.
Star Control 2, one of the Wing Commander games. Yeah, they're the original Syndicate even. Which,
TIE Fighter?
Ooh, TIE Fighter. Also, TIE Fighter and TIE Fighter. Also, TIE Fighter. Half-Life. Also, Half-Life. I have to mention those multiple times. Half-Life 2.
I've played almost all of them. I have to disagree with you. Mass Effect rules.
I might disagree with you a little bit on Half-Life. Half-Life was a really, really good game, but you know, I'm such a big fan of spaceships and lasers and space bitches that, like, you know, you put those things into a video game, you put those things into Cooking Mama, and I'd be way more interested in playing that game if it had crazy space bitches in it.
Well, yeah, you do have a point. That really put it ahead. You know, getting the chance to bone everything in the galaxy, even though you have to work way too hard to have sex with crazy space bitches.
Well,
You have to work way too hard. Yeah, it was like real life. Come on. What do I got to smooth talk you and make sure I say the right things and talk to you at the right times? It's a video game. And plus, I just wish that there was a conversation option in this game where every time you talk to someone, especially the crazy space bitches, you could just go, "Say, bitch, you know who I am?" And that works for everything because you're Shepard. It's like, I'm Shepard. Go to the captain's cabin. Be naked. I'll be there in 5. You should show up on a planet. Turians, Krogans. I'm Shepard. Work together.
So basically,
You should land on a planet and go, "Bitches, do you know who I am?" If anybody looks cross at you, anything. But that never works. People talk about you, and then they argue with you. And then you let their planet die or something. People should learn. And like Liara should be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I know you're Shepard. So we going to do this here right now in the CIC or in the war room? What's it going to be?" But you got to work too hard, and that's bullshit.
Also, the fact that you can only have one space bitch at a time, so you have to like replay the game all over again. You can't have. I think in Mass Effect 1, you have the option of like, "Hey ladies, why don't we just have a threesome?" And they both just tell you to fuck off. I'm like, "But I'm Commander Shepard. Come on, seriously."
Maybe that's why I haven't been able to close the deal.
well,
Maybe the Connect was hearing the freaky shit I was laying down.
there's people turning away in the CIC, just like, dude, what the? Oh man, that guy is nasty.
Joker's like, everybody hears you,
working
Commander.
out for like 20 minutes while he was talking to you. Whatever that guy's name is.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there was that whole like, I went down to the cargo bay and the guy's like doing chin-ups or something.
Yeah,
and I was just like, this is really gay.
That's
Yeah. He was like it was like Jersey Shore, dude. Like it was a proper Guido and everything.
It didn't help that he had a faux hawk. Like, that character may have had some resonance with me, but it was like, seriously, this far in the future, people still make their hair look like that? Like, and Freddie Prinze Jr., get off my ship!
Yeah. There is a little part in the game, and this isn't spoiling anything. I don't know if you guys caught it. It's just a little Easter egg where Freddie Prinze Jr. character, his character James, is talking to Garrus. And they're trying to one-up each other's with war stories.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
It's like,
quite funny.
Really? It's like, and Garrus is just like, "Okay, yeah, sure, I'll play your game." With Garrus, the Archangel, and Lieutenant Douchebag is like, "Well, one time I did this and this," and he's like, I'm Garrus Vakarian. Do you know who I am, bitches?
It's like I stopped Saren and the Geth. He was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was with Shepard. It's like, it still counts, motherfucker. What did you do?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what James says. Lieutenant Douchebag says, oh, well, you were with Shepard. That doesn't count. It's like, yeah, I was with Shepard. You know why you're here? I don't fucking know either.
It's like the most he ever did was get into a bar fight. I mean, that was like his one-up story. It's like, really? You go into a bar fight? Okay, you didn't save the galaxy or anything.
Okay, all right. Wait, guys, hold on for just a second, because we gotta roll this review back a little bit and start with Mass Effect 3 for people who haven't played any Mass Effect games. Mass Effect 3 is a story of giant robot space squid reapers who are coming in to destroy pretty much everything. I guess there was some implications there. They don't destroy you if you're like a primitive caveman or whatever. They'll leave you alone. But
A robot. You could be a robot. They just want, organic
Order.
life
See, okay,
destroyed.
that really
Organic advanced civilizations. Those are the only ones that they harvest. They leave like primitive societies alone.
Yeah, but see, the thing, Kevin, with the robot thing is that doesn't make any sense. Which we're going to talk about that more a little bit later on a different podcast. But like, if they left all the robots around, then wouldn't all the robots still? Anyway, but so you're Commander Shepard. If you've played the first two Mass Effect games, Commander Shepard coming in. Basically uniting the galaxy against this common threat, these giant, robot squids coming in, blowing everything up, just fucking everybody's shit up, having a bad day, and you go out to, you're like Space Henry Kissinger. You got to make everybody work together, get everybody cool to come back and be the hero of mankind and retake Earth. That is the premise.
It's the Reapers, and we're not ready for them. Not by a long shot.
Tell that to the Defense Committee.
Unless we're planning to talk the Reapers to death, the committee is a waste of time.
They're just scared. None of them have seen what you've seen. We've all reviewed your report, seen the data you've collected, but it's all just theory to us. You've been there, in the trenches, fighting them. You know what they're capable of.
That why they grounded me? Took away my ship?
You know that's not true. The shit you've done, any other soldier would have been tried, court-martialed, and discharged. It's your knowledge of the Reapers that kept that from happening.
That and your good word?
Yeah, I trust you, Shepard. And so does the committee.
I'm just a soldier, Anderson. I'm no politician.
I don't need you to be either. I just need you to do whatever the hell it takes to help us stop the Reapers.
It sounds really stupid when you simplify it like that, because it's, a lot deeper than, just fighting squid monsters. But yeah, that pretty much rounds it out.
Well, they're really big squid monsters.
Yeah, they're the size of skyscrapers and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, there's an intergalactic war going on, and you've got this tactical map, and you've got to fly around and try and go into dangerous territories and make alliances and things, and have weird conversation trees with people. But yeah, no, you're right. It's a lot of conversation mixed in with a lot of combat.
Yeah,
And it is epic. It's an epic
seriously.
action RPG. It is a huge, huge game.
and the combat, now that you mentioned it, is just fantastic in this game. It's one of the things that they like, in my opinion, they just nailed it. Like, they took, Mass Effect 2 was a good kind of one-up from Mass Effect 1. They made it a little bit more visceral, but you still had to kind of stay behind cover. It played a lot more like a really unforgiving Gears of War. But here, you could roll. You could, roll into cover. Like, character feels more spry. The weapons feel better. Just the combat in this game feels incredibly visceral and awesome.
And there's a lot of variety to that, which is great, by picking which class you want to go with. Mm-hmm. Whether you use your biotic powers, which are basically variants of telekinesis, and you've got your infiltrator and vanguard and straight up soldier. So there's a lot of different ways that you can play this battle. And depending on how you stack your squad with what skills they have and what you have yourself, I thought it did a really good job of, any one battle or any two battles could be completely different.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I've gone back and I've played through the beginning of the game with a few different classes, and I played through the game with an infiltrator, and they were able to turn invisible, to use sniper rifles, stuff like that. Went back and played through with a sentinel and a vanguard. the game is completely different. Like, it feels drastically different depending on what character class you're using, which is really important because too often we get these kind of RPG elements in a game and they don't actually mean anything in the long run. But like the powers that you get in this game are so severe, you know, the Vanguard's going through walls and stuff that it really feels just very satisfying no matter what you pick. All the classes are great and they feel really good.
But in the long run, it's not mainly about the action which makes these games so great. It's the ability of, if you play the first Mass Effect, whatever decisions you make will affect Mass Effect 2, and in Mass Effect 2 it will affect Mass Effect 3. So any little choice you make, of talking to someone, or saving their life, or doing this mission, has an effect on the entire game series as a whole. And that's something I've never come across on another game before.
To a certain degree. Now, I feel one of the complaints that I had with this game was the way that they treated Mass Effect 2. And the fact that because Mass Effect 2 had such a... because anybody from Mass Effect 2 could die. Any of your squad members or, you know, the main characters of Mass Effect 2 could get killed. That they had to, that rather than trying to write around each one of those deaths in a unique way, the game had character stand-ins for anybody that was dead. So if this character died in Mass Effect 2 and they're supposed to show up during this mission, they have kind of a cardboard cutout, like another character that shows up. And
it was really good, though, because I never played... I remember the end of Mass Effect 2, the whole purpose of Mass Effect 2 is you have to... It's like you're getting the Dirty Dozen. You're getting your team to go on a suicide mission. And I had never been so nervous that I was worried about one of my characters dying on this suicide mission. So I never played a video game where I was that concerned over what was going to happen. It's the same thing here. I mean, like, if your character dies in Mass Effect 2, that person will not come back in Mass Effect 3. And these are the same characters you grow attached to over the course of the game through the conversations you have.
See, I think that there was an opportunity there to change the story a little bit harder based on the decisions that you made at Mass Effect 2. And to a certain degree, like, you know, don't get me wrong, there were character moments in this game that had me like weeping at my keyboard, you know, just like no, screaming and like shaking my hand in the air. Like, I really engaged the story and the characters. But then I learned later on, like, I started listening to other people who hadn't played Mass Effect 2, started looking at stuff online, and I found out that, you know, if this character isn't there, that there is essentially another stock character there to take their place, and they have less meaningful dialogue.
And it doesn't make any sense, because sometimes they have this stock character that's just like the character that could have maybe possibly died, but then sometimes they actually use that character. Like Garrus. Garrus was in the first two, you know, but he could have died in either one of them, right? And yet he's in the third one. And yet I played without porting any of my characters over from 1 or 2, and even though I did that, Garrus was in it, but some of the other characters were not. And they used characters that were just like them, like the Geth character. Legion wasn't in it, and yet there was one called Geth 6, which was basically the same thing. And it was so much the same thing that sometimes BioWare forgot to change the name of the character in the game.
What? Really?
Yeah. Sometimes.
So they would talk to Geth 6 and like, how are you doing, Legion's like, that's not my name. My name is Geth 6.
No. They would sit there and say, I had the subtitles on, and Geth 6 would be talking, but it would say Legion, :
Wow, that is a major fuck up on BioWare's part.
Yeah.
Just seeing what Nick says that calling Geth 6 Legion, it's like, you humans are so specious. You think we all look the same, don't you?
I think that actually happens at one point in one variant of the game, that you keep calling Geth 6 Legion. That's what one of my other friends was telling me. And he corrects you like, no, I'm Geth 6.
It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I think that the first time that with regards to this particular point, I think the first time that I played through the game, I went back and played Mass Effect 2 to make sure that everybody was coming over and I had the ending that I wanted from Mass Effect 2. Played through that whole game all over again right before we started. And so when I played through the game, everybody was there, and I was just like, woo, there's this person, there's this person, there's this person. Then I came to find out later on that, like, you will have the same mission, and the big story beats definitely have a lot of those characters there, even if you haven't played the other games. as long as they're not dead. But I think that there's some missions, like the Academy mission that Jason and I were talking about yesterday, where the character from Mass Effect 2 that is in that mission is just gone and replaced with kind of a lifeless random douchebag that doesn't really have any effect on the story. Not to say that the character from Mass Effect 2 affected the story greatly, but it was just... it made that story more powerful because you had an emotional connection to that character from Mass Effect 2. And without that character, it became a little bit more lifeless. So
yeah, and yet in Mass Effect 2, one of the characters, or excuse me, in Mass Effect 3, one of the characters from Mass Effect 2 shows up, even though that I didn't have any save games. Mm-hmm. And he was in there, and at one point, this character, depending on what decisions you make, or actually maybe not even that, this character dies. And it is the most affecting character death I've ever seen in a video game.
Oh, God, yes, it is.
Hands down. Fuck your Final Fantasy Aerith stuff. No. This, I was like, yeah, I'm not, it's like, it's just a lot of pollen in the air. I don't know what's going on.
I showed a YouTube video of that character dying to my sister who had never played Mass Effect before, and she was in tears by the end of it. Never even, just like it's a testament to how good and how dramatic some of these sequences that you can show this stuff to people who haven't hardly even played the game, and they will be emotionally affected by it.
Yeah.
But then on the opposite side of that, you have that same character could have been replaced by just some no-name character, some introduced in this game, not super invested character that would have made that moment a lot less powerful by them just being...
And maybe they realized that.
Maybe so. I don't know. I guess this is one of those things where you say, I'm knocking BioWare for not making the game that I wanted them to make, which is not really fair. But it's something that I felt at least needed to be brought up.
Really?
Just
you
in
felt
structure.
That? I thought they almost made the game I exactly wanted. Like almost up until the very end, it was like, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. Like, if there's a rating better than if there's a higher rating than better than sex, I'm going to give it, because I was really upset with the deaths of some characters and how these characters have developed over the past 3 years when this game franchise started.
I think it's been 5 actually.
Yeah, it's been a little more than that.
Years.
Yeah.
Wow.
But see, what I'm saying, Nick, is that I just wish that you had a Mass Effect 2 save, right?
Right. Yeah, and Mass Effect 1.
So what I'm saying is that if you are a person who played it on the Xbox and you lost your save, or you had it on the PC, you haven't had time to play it over again, then you may be missing characters that you feel should have been in the game. And I wish that they would have rewritten those stories a little bit harder to accommodate the fact that those characters weren't there, instead of just dropping a placeholder character in to take the place of the one that isn't there anymore.
Well, I mean, I can't really say, because I saved all my games and I imported all the decisions I did in Mass Effect 1 and 2. So I didn't have the same experience that Jason did. So I don't know overall how much it affected the story as a whole.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that this has so much variation, even just in this one game, much less the series, that no two Mass Effect experiences are alike.
Very true. Yeah, I mean, I've talked with my friend, other people I know who are playing this game. They're having very different storylines than, I guess, what I got out of it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I haven't really gone back like you did and played different versions of the game, though I did feel as though things were specifically different. I had a romance with Liara in the first one, I think. And, so when she shows up in the beginning of this game, I'm playing it, and when I imported my save game, it said, that I romanced her in the first game, and I didn't romance anyone in the second game. It actually has this little breakdown, it tells you the accomplishments you did. And so when I got into this and she showed up, I was thinking to myself while playing it, that they just put her there because I had a relationship with her, and if I had a relationship with, say, somebody else, would it be somebody else? I was kind of a little bit confused by that at first, because that's the kind of experience you have with the game, though you're never quite sure if your experience is being customized or not.
Definitely.
And I think that makes it a lot more fun.
I will say, though, that I felt that the do air quotes here, the new characters that they brought in for this game were kind of the only new character for sure is James Vega, and I thought that he was just...
Please, Jeff, Lieutenant Douchebag.
Yes.
Okay, Lieutenant Douchebag Prince Jr. Was definitely kind of a letdown as a character. After some of the characters they had in Mass Effect 2, I felt that he was really just kind of flat. I mean, didn't have a whole lot of depth to him. I mean, there was a couple of other characters. One of them without
Jessica Kibbutz, what's her name? The chick from IGN.
Don't you get me started on that. I didn't even know.
Oh,
I didn't even know that she worked for IGN until I looked her up right before this review. Because when I was playing the game the whole time, I was just like, who
the fuck is this? Like, she's a terrible actress.
Yeah, like, and not only is she a terrible actress, but BioWare guys, I'm sorry, but Jesus God, she was fugly. Like, just she came into Shepard's office and is just like, "Ooh, Shepard, do you want me to come back?" And it's just like, "No, get out of here." And I mean, I've seen pictures of her.
You're a goddamn liar.
I'm a one alien kind of guy, Jason Murphy.
Did you have sex with Liara?
Yeah.
And yet you're thinking Diana Allers based on the real life, very attractive Jessica, what's her name?
Kibbutz.
So you had, you sent away the attractive human video game character, but you had sex with the blue alien chick with tentacle hair.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, but the reason is that the blue chick with the tentacle hair has more character and is a lot more charming. So, you do feel more of an attraction to her rather than this chick who, I mean, to be honest, she kind of annoyed me on IGN anyway. So it was like, oh, really? You're just trying to appeal to the few people who haven't played Mass Effect. They're like, oh, we got this chick who's an IGN. Like, look at her. Oh, we've also got a Guido. You like New Jersey Shore, right? Yeah, well, we got that here. So.
You hear that, ladies? Wear blue, have a lot of charm. You can date the crew.
See, that's I'm not going to be that guy who talks trash about some hot girl, like saying, oh, well, I wouldn't sleep with Olivia Munn, blah, blah, blah. Because everyone just goes, okay, dude, right. Shut the fuck up.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not going to be that nerd. You are, apparently.
I looked her up.
No. I was just saying, in comparison, if you had the choice between Liara and that chick, which you do in the game, you always go for Liara, right? Rather than
I don't want space herpes or whatever else some blue chick has.
Jason,
I would chance it with Liara. I'd say that. Or Tali.
Jason, I thought you were on board with this whole Captain Kirk thing. Like, you want to go into the universe and bang different colored space ladies.
Okay, you're right. I totally am. I was being a little crass there, but I was trying to prove a point, and it's sending it's like, I'll fuck the alien, but the girl from IGN, get that shit out of my office.
If she looked in this game like she does on the internet when I looked up pictures of her, yeah, no problem. But dude, she is messed up looking in this game.
Okay.
I maybe it's just me, but it was just like when she came on, I was like,
I'm quite glad you clarified. Yeah, I thought you were saying she was fugly just as a person, and I was like,
no. Real life, she is dynamite. She's really good looking. I do though have to say that I can't imagine
sleeping with a girl from IGN. I know, we get it.
I can't imagine why nobody has brought this up before. How? I mean, you guys, come on, check me on this one if I'm wrong. But she's a game journalist. You put a game journalist from a major gaming website into your video game? I mean, isn't there a little bit of conflict of interest
That's
there?
a good point.
Is there some reason they did that, though? Did she win a contest
I think she was just a big fan.
Called
I don't know.
Genetic Lottery. That was the contest.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to bring that up briefly. Do what you will.
That's a really, really good point. Definite possibility for conflict of interest there. I wonder if she reviewed the game at all.
No, she didn't. That would definitely be a conflict of interest there. It was some guy who did it. But, I know, probably they know her, so they're like, we can't give it too bad of a review since old Jessica's in it. But, it's kind of hard to give Mass Effect 3 a bad review to begin with, so. I'm
just talking about the character models in this game. I thought that the upgrades they made to the graphics engine for Mass Effect this time around were phenomenal. Like, it just... The whole thing looked just tons better than Mass Effect 2, especially if you just came off of playing Mass Effect 2. Kevin and Jason, you played on the Xbox 360. Did you play the previous one on the 360?
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you feel? Did the graphics come off as much better this time?
Well, it's been a while, so I don't really recall how they size up. But they did look great. They were certainly pretty.
I'm in the same boat, but I found, when you're flying in and that war is going on, you're seeing ships, getting destroyed and planets being bombed and things. it made it a lot better than just flying into some planet. You know what I mean? Like, it just has there's a more of a cinematic experience this time around, I think, overall. Even though I'm not knocking the second one either.
Yeah.
You know.
One of my things, and forgive me if I'm jumping around to something you were going to bring up and guide us towards, Jeff, but the quest items were so broken.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we talked about this before. Just as an overview for anybody who doesn't know, in this game, they took out the scanning mechanic from the previous game, so you're not collecting resources off of planets anymore. What you're doing is you're pinging planets in a solar system with this little active sonar pulse, and it'll show up the ones that you can go to. You go to them, you scan it, you don't have to buy probes anymore. There's still fuel, but you don't have to buy probes. You shoot a probe and get an item, and you take that item back to a person who wants it. It's actually kind of a really creepy mechanic, because Shepard's just running around the Citadel. There's like some dude, talking to somebody else, like, hey, you know what would be awesome? I needed some pepper from Sirkesh, but the war is on. I can't get over there. And then like a day later, Shepard shows up. All these two people having the exact same conversation. It's just like, hey, I found this. I heard you wanted it.
Yeah.
So how did you know that? It's like, I was listening from over there.
And it'll assign you quests just from walking down the hallway and eavesdropping, thus making Shepard the creepiest son of a bitch in the Citadel.
And they'd be like, you'd get like a book or something, and they're like, thanks, dude. I'm going to send the entire Sixth Fleet just to help you because you found that book.
Right.
Like, oh, awesome. Okay.
But you never know who you're supposed to give it to, because your journal it doesn't update correctly. And it just says, bring this to so-and-so. And it doesn't tell you really. Sometimes it tells you vaguely where to get it. But it doesn't really tell you where to get it. Or it tells you bring it to the Vol ambassador on the Citadel. I'm like, everyone in the galaxy is rushing to the Citadel. I'm supposed to look for that one dude to bring something. You don't tell me where it is. And so you've got all this stuff, and you're running around through the Citadel, and you're just like, hey, I found this oscillation overthruster out in space. One of you's got to want it, right? So you're just walking up talking to
plus
people.
They don't update the quest in your journal to say that you have the item, and there's nowhere to look and see that you picked up the oscillating space dildo out on planet whatever the fuck, and that you need to.
Was that intentional though? Because they did used to do that in Mass Effect 2 and 1. They would update you on what you have done so far. It's like, right, you've got the thing. Now you just need to go back to the Citadel on this floor and give it to this person. But yeah, you're right. Like, I had no clue if I had actually done it already, because all I used to do was just, fuck, I'm just going to spend like an hour just scanning for shit, like in various star systems, and then just hope I get lucky when I go back to the Citadel and just give it to random people. It's like, is this yours? No. Is this yours?
Yeah,
We were the one with...
Yeah, and people say, "Hey, will you look for this for me?" And even if you remember, they're like, "Hey, will you look for? We need this schematic or whatever. Where is it? I don't know. Space.
Space is kind of big, douchebag. Okay, I've got bigger things to worry about right now.
It's like, I just wish you could go space. Really? Fuck you.
Plus, some of the things that
Keep your fleet.
some of the things that these people want, it's like, I just wish that there was a renegade option to grab them by their space lapels and be like, "There's a war on, motherfucker!" Like, I don't care about your ancient tablet from Butthole 6. Like, go get the ships. Everything's gonna die if we don't do this. Like, we're not doing quest rewards at this point. Just get over there. But yeah, that mechanic was definitely like, I was glad when I saw that they took the planet scanning mechanic out, because that was tedious in the last one. But what they replaced it with, because of that breakage, it ended up being almost equally as irritating, because you just go out, run around. Every time you pick up something out in the universe, it's like, all right, I go back to the Citadel and run through all 5 floors of the fucking Citadel looking for the person that needs this thing, and then give it to them. And
But
Yeah, oh, and to make things worse, you have a limited number of times you can scan in whatever sector. So it's like, okay, 3, 4. Oh, Reapers, run!
yeah,
Gotta come back. It's like, okay, your tablet is out here in maybe this sector of space somewhere. Okay, maybe it's Reapers, run. Sorry, dude. There were this civilization obliterating monsters,
but don't let
trying to come after me, so I couldn't get your tablet.
Don't let 2 of them touch your ship, or else it's just instantaneous game over with no consequences.
Yeah, critical failure. The end.
I'm sorry, Nick. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that, in a way, that did kind of make it more exciting, the fact that the Reapers could track you down, because you had to be very careful the amount of times you sent that radar pulse in that section of the universe, and then you've got space exploration more exciting for me in that way.
I think if they would have just expanded a little bit on the mechanic of what happens when the Reapers showed up, it probably would have been damn near flawless. But considering it was like it was kind of like, you scan too many times, it's like Pac-Man ghosts come out of the side of the screen and you've got to run away from them. Like,
Yes.
Just want to drive over the power pellet in the side of the solar system and then waka waka waka.
But also, like, fuel is a lot more scarce in this game than it used to be, and it makes sense because there's a war going on, and there are not many stations left that you can actually buy fuel from, and money is also hard to come by as well, and that makes sense.
See, the fuel thing didn't bother me because they put fuel in space. They put like little pockets of fuel in the systems that you would go to. So, like, if you went to a system, there would be like one planet with an artifact, and then one wrecked spaceship with a few units of fuel.
But by the time you found it, you're being chased by Reapers, so you've only got like a few seconds to grab it before the Reapers come and get you. So that's what made it more engaging for me.
I don't know.
All right, okay. Next topic.
Who played the multiplayer?
I played it on the demo, I remember, but I'm pretty sure it'll be exactly the same for the main for the main game. But I didn't get a chance to finish any of them. It's basically horde mode. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. Kevin, Jason, did either of you guys played any outside of what we played in the playthrough?
No.
I wouldn't even say that what I did was play during the playthrough. I kind of was mainly a victim and, worked on my running away.
Oh.
That's about all I had going for
I thought that was the objective for it. I thought there was a game mode in there that I had missed. The Save Kevin objective.
I played it pretty extensively, and there's we could bring this back into what it kind of means for the single player in a second, but basically it's 4-player horde mode. You've got 10 waves in the bronze. I never went outside of the bronze category, and it's the action of Mass Effect 3 just with a few other people. It really does make Shepard seem much more badass because your characters in horde mode start off kind of wimpy, and so you have to shoot like husks and stuff forever to kill them, and so the sense of accomplishment and like leveling up and stuff is cool. The one thing that I don't understand and is a little bit crappy about it is that you have these one-time use items that you can equip, like armor or bullets or stuff like that, and you get those by buying these like packs of cards. Essentially, it's kind of like a Pokemon or something. You go into this virtual store and you buy these packs, and they have like you get 5 random items, so you can use them to upgrade your defense, your offense, or whatever. But the shady part comes in that the level 2 and level 3 items you can just buy for cash. So you could buy them with the points in the game, or you could spend $10 or $20 respectively to get these awesome packs full of like game empowering items. And that was a little. I'm not a big fan of when publishers do that. But other than that,
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
other than that, it was fun. I remember thinking towards the end it started to get a little repetitive, and I thought that I wish they would have taken a page out of Syndicate and maybe had just like a little bit of story at the beginning as to why you're doing this, like show you guys in the spaceship come down and get out instead of just spawning you onto the map, because it started to get a little by the numbers towards the end. Just like, all right, here's wave 5. There's going to be an Atlas on here.
Yeah, once you've played for a few hours, I really do think you're just kind of done.
Well, it's a shame because
You have to.
according to BioWare, if you go and do every little side quest, you can get your galactic readiness level up to the point of being able to get the best ending in the game.
I think that's bullshit because I got all 3 endings and I never played multiplayer once.
Well, there's actually some minor variations in the ending that you may or may not have seen, depending on how much multiplayer that you play. Do you remember what your readiness level was in the commit center?
It always said 50.
No, not the percentage one. The total, the bar at the bottom, the total overall level.
Oh, it was all the green.
Do you remember what the number was? It's been like 5,000 or over in order to get the best ending.
I think it was like 6,000.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, I played through the multiplayer quite a bit, kind of towards the end of the game, to get all the way up to 100%. Had a ridiculously high readiness level. And what I found out was that when you come back to the game like 3 days later, that number goes back down. like the more when you sit around and you don't play the game, that number decreases. So if you want to play through Mass Effect 3 like a second time and get a Renegade ending or whatever, and you were going to rely on the multiplayer, you're going to have to go back and play it again. So it's not the sort of thing you could just play once and then say, oh yeah, I'm done, whatever. And I think that's a little, I don't like that all that much.
There's been a lot of choices BioWare has made recently that have been kind of annoying, like the day one DLC that you have to buy for 10 quid, or I don't know how much it is in the States. Is it $10?
Yeah, it's $10.
Yeah. And the fact that it wasn't something that they were going to make later and release. I'm fine with that, but the fact that they were making it in the core as part of the main story, and then just decided last minute, it's like, oh shit, we can charge people an extra $10 to buy that. I was really annoyed with that.
Who had that? Jason, did you end up buying it?
No, I haven't. I'm going to, but I just feel like I have my hands full with whatever's
Nick?
in there already.
No, but I did check up a lot of gameplay footage, and so I know who the extra character is. I don't know if we want to say it because it might spoil it for anyone who does decide to get the DLC.
Yeah, we'll just leave that out.
Right.
I'm trying to stay as spoiler-free as possible here. Kevin, did you get him?
No, but I would like to say that EA should change their policy so that you can get 24 hours of free online play without having to buy that stupid $10 code when you rent the game. Now, I bought the game on the 360, but we were going to play it on PS3 for the video. And so I rented the game, but then it was like, oh, I got to pay $10 so I can play the online portion, and there wasn't even like a demo.
Yes.
That was really crappy.
Which actually kind of segues into this Day 1 DLC character, because in Mass Effect 2, there was no multiplayer, so their Day 1, their Project $10 Day 1 thing was Zaid Masani, the other character that you were able to get. So, and he added a little bit to Mass Effect 2, but not all that much. The problem that I think a lot of people have with this character as well, this new character is not essential to the storyline. It does add a lot of flavor because it gives you a perspective on this conflict, which is old, or which is unique. Like, none of your other characters in the game really have the same style of perspective on the Reapers and what's going on in the universe. And so it's kind of a shame that it wasn't Project $10. That wasn't rolled into, like, your Day 1, if you bought this retail, you get this by default. That it was, you had to buy the collector's edition, which honestly, I bought the collector's edition, and it comes with some other stuff, but the main thing you're going to be getting out of it is this character. So,
Jeff, I feel like you're a shill for EA because now I want to go spend that $10 because you made it sound so good.
Well, it is. I mean, let's just say this: if it was James Vega, no one would fucking buy it. That's all I'm saying.
It's so
yeah,
true.
if they reversed James Vega and this character, that wouldn't sell anywhere near as well. And you know what, Kevin? It's like I don't like the idea of a company like EA that makes a lot of money, and I know they invest a lot of money in these games, but that makes a lot of money, kind of nickel and diming you with these little add-ons on the first day. But to be honest and just to be realistic about it, we played Street Fighter Cross Tekken. There's 12 characters on that disc that are going to end up as DLC when the Vita version comes out. Like, we've already seen this kind of behavior from companies over and over again, and more we're seeing online with no trial. You got to buy a pass to get online, and I don't necessarily like it all that much, but I don't think it's anything until people stop buying it, which I guess you guys all did the right thing and I didn't. They're going to keep doing it. So, I don't know.
Well, we have to because we review video games for a living. But the other people out there, the responsibility's on them.
I don't know about you guys. I thought the game felt a little bit like the conflict felt bigger, but the universe felt a little bit smaller to me than it did last time around.
No, I mean, it always felt that kind of way to me. Like, the good thing about Mass Effect 1 was that a lot of the planets that you would explore, you could literally, go, it would be a large map, but people didn't like it because you had to go on that Mako and you'd be jumping up and down mountains and hills and it'd be kind of annoying. But it's a lot more linear when you go onto another planet space exploration, but it definitely does, I guess, add some flavor. The only thing I would complain a little bit is I think the romances, the way those relationships developed, because in Mass Effect 1, I romanced Ashley. Mass Effect 2 was Tali, and then I decided Mass Effect 3, I would go back with Ashley, and I thought that would be a good chance for there to be a lot of like a love triangle thing going on with the girls arguing with you or something. And so I would go up to Tali's like, hey, I want to break this off. I want to go back with Ashley, and she'd be like, yeah, okay. It's like, really? That was really easy. I wish it was this easy in real life, because most girls get really pissed off. That's the only thing I felt they needed to write a little bit more into.
So you're expecting Tally to like throw a drink in your face and knee in the crotch and then walk off?
Or just something, It's just like, the moment you do romance Ashley, in between missions, what I used to like about Mass Effect 1 is you'd go down to the bay and you have a chat with Ashley and have all these great conversations with her. But in Mass Effect 3, unless it's something specific for a mission you're about to do, in between missions, she's like, hey, how you doing? What's up? And you can't really chat with them. It's like, oh, okay. I'm really glad I dumped Tali for you, bitch, if you're not going to, make this a little bit more engaging.
That's actually a good point. There was a lot less, it seemed like there was a lot less interaction with the other characters in this game than there was in Mass Effect 2. Yeah. Especially in, you figured Mass Effect 2, you had the loyalty missions, and when you beat them, you got the character's power. In this game, you just talk to them enough, and suddenly, boop, power's unlocked, and you go get it in the med bay.
But I never talked to them just to get the powers. I talked to them because I wanted, I liked the conversations. I liked the story I was developing.
Yeah, and plenty of times when you go to try to talk to them, they're just like, fuck off. Go away. Shoot.
One, so a couple of other minor quibbles, but overall, I really liked it. I think there's a lot right with this game. It's just that, it's kind of disappointing in that it's, there's some missed opportunities there and a lot of real head-scratching decisions.
Okay. Kevin, anything else?
I mean, I honestly, when I played through 2 and they said, I got to go to 3, that I thought 3 was just going to be basically like an expansion pack of 2. And so I was greatly happy with the amount of work that went into this game and how much I found it to be enjoyable. So, I know you guys have some complaints that it's not as perfect as you'd like, but I still come across thinking that.
Okay. Well, just before we give our ratings, I want to go ahead and say that Nick and I have finished the game. I think, Jason, you're about to finish the game.
Almost there.
We're going to have a separate podcast where we talk about the ending of this game because it's so controversial. And I've got a lot to say about it, but I don't want to do it without specifics. So we're going to record a separate podcast. It's going to come out a little bit later this week with complete and total. We'll take on all the spoiler filters off. Just say whatever. Talk about the end of any game. I don't even care. Not even Mass Effect 3. Movies, books, fuck it, whatever. Spoilers.
Oh man, Kevin Spacey is Kaiser Soze.
Hey,
oh, sorry, we're not doing it yet.
We're not doing it. Save it for the other podcast, Murphy.
Check that tone.
But what I want everybody to do, is Jason and Kevin and Nick and I to give our reviews, and we're gonna give them, even taking into account our feelings about the very end of the game. But we're gonna go into that a little bit more in detail later on. So, Jason, let's start with you. What do you got?
I'm gonna give it a low full price.
Okay.
I liked it, but I thought there were some pretty big gameplay mechanics problems.
Okay. Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I felt that the game was wonderfully written. It was action-packed. It's almost concluded everything. It was perfect up until the last fucking 10 minutes of the game, and that just brought it down. I'm not going to say what it is, don't worry. But I guess I'm still going to give it better than Sex. But...
Really?
Oh God, yeah. No, I was so engaged with it, and it just made it that much more. That made it much more pissing off at the end when they decided to do that 180 turn.
Okay.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying, but yeah. a low better than Sex, if that is possible. So it could have been the Jesus of video games, as far as I'm concerned.
I know, I can see that. You're sitting somewhere between full price and better than Sex.
Right. Yeah.
You can't just 100% endorse it, but it's way high up there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I've played it the least of this group, so I have to rely partially on my imagination about how great it is. So, with that said, I'm going to also say better than Sex, because at the end of the day, it's Mass Effect. It's the third one, in this trilogy of great games, and I'm sure that there's going to be this big frown at the end, but I think that frown might probably come just because you love the game so much, and the fact that they can make you feel that way is great. So I hope I'm right. We'll find out soon enough.
I remember when I believed the way that you did, Kevin. So
you haven't
long
fucking
ago.
finished the game, so you have no idea how upset you're going to be.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go with just a straight up solid full price. While I was playing this game, I was firmly convinced that I was going to be able to give it a better than sex. In retrospect, and looking at some of the mechanics and the systems and with the ending problems, I'm going to knock it back down to full price. I think Mass Effect 2
Dude, fuck the mechanics. You're only saying that because of the ending. That's the only. I mean, you would overlook the mechanics.
No, not at all.
I beg to differ. Like, there's stuff in this game that should have been worked on more, and there's places in this game where you can see that it needed more. I think it needed more polish. Even if you take the story stuff to one side and you say stuff like the quest log that Jason and I are talking about. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal. I know that people are going to be like, "Dude, quest log, what are you talking about?" But you have to remember that's an irritating thing that is there all 30 hours of the game. Like, it's always there, and it's always causing you to go do these redundant actions. Or, if you want to get another thing, something I didn't mention in the review, BioWare, I'm not factoring it into the review this time. This is the last fucking time that you guys get to get away with Shepard sticking her finger through the side of her head when she wants to talk to somebody, or holding a gun and the hand is just floating off to one side. Like, there is no way to change the body type for Commander Shepard. There is no reason that the gun should not look like it's in that person's hand and not floating off of their palms. Like, there are things in this game that bring it down, and the ending is a big part of it, but I just feel like this was the place to make what could have been the capstone to one of my new favorite game series of all time. And I feel there's a lot of little stuff in there that just chiseled it down a little bit, one little complaint at a time. So
you got to believe, Jeff.
Believe in what?
You know, you just got to use your imagination, assume that those problems aren't there, and just sort of enjoy the game. No, I don't know.
So this is game journalism based on being really high? I'm not sure.
Yeah, there you go. Just, you know, it's a Zen thing. There is nothing wrong. It's all good.
Just smoke some of that space weed, man.
We need a plan to stop them.
We fight or we die. That's the point.